Following Charlotte Sweeney's decision as federal judge to allow a class-wide fifth year for 2022 high school seniors to come back and play, particularly in college football, there is a growing list of players who are looking to try to find out if they can return to their old teams or even play for someone else. Let's go through an unofficial and not extensive list, but as best as I could get it, of players that I know are attempting to return to college football after the bumper. What's up, Ken folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, consider joining the more than 218,000 subscribers to Adapt and Respond, a college football podcast. You can also catch us on Apple and Spotify. News of the day is federal judge Charlotte Sweeney made a sweeping declaration that provides an injunction against the NCAA's 5-for-5 rule that would allow 2022 high school seniors across sports to return for a fifth season. That means that players that went through the NFL draft process, players that got cut here in minicamp, players that simply want to try it again can if there's a roster spot available, and many of them are seeking them. Some were already in the middle of their own court efforts to try to get an injunction or a temporary restraining order to allow them to play for one reason or another. Many of those cases are about to be moot as the NCAA scrambles to try to deal with what one college football assistant coach called a cluster F-CK to me. And I simply agree with him, but you got to play it as it lies. Right now, there are a number of players that I think can help some places. Like, for instance, if you need a quarterback, Texas Tech, you might find a spot. I know at least 5-6 Power 4 programs with 5 or 6 spots still available that they might be willing to hand out. So let's go through who we know is seeking another year of eligibility and go from there. So Temple defensive tackle Sekou Chroma is a guy that made the list. He's looking to play through 2026, 2027 after a decent season last year, 3 sacks, 4.5 tackles for loss. Remember, the thing you're adding here is not just talent and a player, but a veteran, a guy that's played a lot of football that can help you right away. It's real plug and play for him. That is going to be another reason why many of these guys are going to be valuable assets in a way that they simply wouldn't be in the NFL. Marshall's Boogie Trotter also attempting to make the comeback. 74 tackles, 5 interceptions last year. He was a transfer to Marshall after playing at Tennessee State and was a class 2022 recruit. Central Connecticut's defensive tackle Clifton Thompson can help somebody. He's 6'2", 350, and was all conference at the nose tackle position. Coastal Carolina quarterback Samari Collier was looking to be granted a temporary restraining order to play. We'll see if he enters the transfer portal. Notre Dame defensive lineman Junior Telemaka is also looking at 61 tackles last year, 9 tackles for loss and interception. I know that Kasim Moore at Virginia is also a guy that is looking to play more football 2026, 18 tackles, 3 sacks. TCU safety Austin Jordan, I think he can come back TCU and help them immediately, man. Participated in NFL rookie minicamp with the Giants, had 40 tackles last year for TCU. If you need a kicker, Todd Polino, guy that helped the Blue Devils win the ACC championship, made 78% of his field goals with a long of 53. Arkansas State defensive tackle Simeon Mitchell had 45 tackles last year, 3 tackles for loss. Indiana linebacker Kellen Wyatt, holy smokes, he can play, right? I mean, this is a dude that 27 tackles, 8 tackles for loss on a team that won the national championship. Hell yeah, he wants to play football. Stephen Daley at Indiana could come back. Good God, my man. 19 tackles for loss, 13. 19 tackles for loss in 13 games. Kentucky's got a linebacker they can return, but, turning over the head coach. Still, Alex Fari went through Packers minicamp, and over the course of his career, 26.5 tackles for loss. He can help you. Jonathan Brady, a wide receiver at Indiana. He can help somebody. 14 catches, 115 yards last year. James Madison, linebacker Trent Hendrick might be a guy that Bob Chesney wants to go get. That was the Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Year and was NFL minicamps with the Chiefs and Browns this year. Had 106 tackles, 7 for loss, 2025. I mean, the list is really impressive. Pitt running back Desmond Reed. Last year, 1,244 yards on the ground, 896 receiving yards. Last 2 years, 1,244 yards on the ground, 896 receiving yards. He was released by the Bills in June. I'm sure that Pat Narduzzi would welcome him back. And then Thomas Castellanos is the big-name quarterback who's seeking a spot. We'll see where he could end up between Boston College, UCF. Again, a guy that I think Texas Tech might actually want to take a look at who can help him with the same sort of skill set that Brendan Sorsby had. If I can add what is one of the great players college football last year, Stephen Daley, one of the great linebackers college football last year in Kellen Wyatt, I'm damn sure going to do it. And I don't know that Curt Cignetti is even thinking this way. Like, I've not spoken to anybody at Indiana about adding Kellen Wyatt or Stephen Daley, but you got to think it's crossed somebody's mind, especially Bryant Haynes, who knows what he means to those guys mean to his defense and provides even more depth as they're trying to put together a really outstanding class. A really outstanding run. They've already put together an outstanding class that can coalesce. Like, one of the big things that Curt Cignetti was preaching at Big Ten Media Days is that he's got a lot of nice pieces. He doesn't yet have a football team. He's confident he's going to have a football team, but they got to start camp. They got to go through it. And he's got to see much of what he saw in the recruiting. Like, there are no bad apples, is what he said. Bad apples get run off by Coach Cignetti. That's what I'm on, right? Everybody there is pulling in the same direction. And I think you're going to see more of that. I think that knowing that Stephen Daley is out there and can help you, or that Kellen Wyatt is out there and can help you. Also, you might be looking at that as one of their competitors, man. Like, not that Ohio State needs these guys, but if you can keep them away from Indiana, wouldn't you? The same thing might be true of Oregon. But again, the first place you got to look is because they just came from there. The coaches know about them. And if you have the rostered spot, and I imagine that they do, because most places are trying to work with a couple spots in reserve because you never really know. And everybody that you're bringing in is somebody you expect to play right away. So you don't want that number to really get too far over 100, but you don't want it to get under 95 either. You're trying to get right there in a sweet spot. The number I've heard most is 100 because you got 5 spots that you can just potentially fill at any time, given what the portal situation might be. And if you need to hit that 105 for whatever reason, you might run a guy off or need to run a couple of guys off, or a couple of guys just decide to leave you that you don't expect, which is much more likely when the portal opens up. But I'm extremely excited about this because it, provides more chaos for college football, and I'm all for chaos. Daley can help you. Kellen Wyatt can help you.